Boa noite a todos. Welcome back to Tom Plays EU4 for absolute beginners. We're back in Portugal. We had a very long session last time where we survived some massive money problems and rebellions. We're about to have another rebellion, but hopefully that will be the last one for a bit. We've changed the makeup of our colonial armies. Oh no, not entirely. Just a South African one. That's fine because we're going to have other armies involved elsewhere. So it's sort of going to be time to consolidate power. Hopefully get a hold on Brazil. I do want to have a bit of a reflection as well on our missions, what we're actually going for. So we've done okay with a lot of these. Nope, what we got? Centralise the state, cities want all the rights. I can deny them and lose stability, which we can't really afford, or I can accept them and lose government reform progress. Not actually that concerned with this, especially since we've just done the government reform. So I'm going to accept. Bit of a gameplay decision really, but also I'm conscious of our lack of stability. Okay, so we've fulfilled the top 5. These haven't acquired subjects. I don't know if colonial nations will count. I suppose we'll find out. Need to build a treasury, need to pay off a loan first. Fulfilled that one. Okay, armies arrived, that's good. Combine you and just prepare for the rebellion, which will happen at some point. Should be fine. They're 8k, we're 12k, we're good. We're all good. Okay, so missions. So we can't worry too much about acquiring a grand fleet until we've got 2 subjects. We'll have to see. Have to see when we make the colonial nation of Brazil, whether that fulfills this. What else? New states, assemble an army. That's going to happen naturally as our country gets bigger, which it certainly will, as we take holdings in Africa. So the big one's going to be the colonies. So we need to settle in Central Africa. Fully colonised province of the Congo region. Yeah, so we're probably going to take these if we can, but there are also a couple down here which we could go for, which would certainly count. So I'm planning to take as many African provinces as possible. Okay, that's good. Brazilian dominance is a big one, but we're definitely going to do that anyway. Cape of Good Hope is exploration. So the only question there is the number of military leaders we have and how many we can have. Because for exploration we're going to need an explorer, and we're only allowed 2 military leaders. So we're going to have to get rid of one before we can do any actual exploration. Okay, fine. So I'm not going to worry about that too much just yet. First things first, money situation, we've got plus 3.17 now, so we could actually afford to get at least one more advisor. So what do we have? We can only afford a plus 1. Stability cost modifier might be useful because we could do with increasing our stability. Yearly inflation reduction might also be useful because we have had loans. So let's go with him for now, to get this inflation down a little. Haven't gone into this much, but basically you want the inflation as low as possible. Right now this arrow is saying it's stable, so if we can just pull in this advisor, it should start going down, which will help our money situation a little. Right, we've got plus 1.99, so we can probably actually get the last advisor as well. We're going to go for this one because it saves money, even though this advisor, discipline plus 5%, will be great for battles. I'm hoping we don't need him. So land maintenance modifier will mean that we save some money, which will spend. Remember, the reason we're getting them primarily is to give us this extra boost in power every month. Okay, so we're doing fine. Our balance has increased, actually. Good. So hopefully we'll be in a position to pay off these 4 loans, which should be our big priority right now. Okay. New technology. We have got a modern theocracy. We don't currently have any ideas. That's about to change, I think. Is it? It is. So we can now pick a new idea. It's got exploration and expansion. Exploration was a diplomatic idea. Expansion was an administrative idea. Technologically speaking, though, we're actually further ahead in administrative and diplomatic than we are in military, which is interesting. So normally, once this is the first time we've really been in a position to choose which idea we have. So normally, I would go with the technologies we're ahead in. I'm just a little conscious that we also haven't got any military technology yet. But it's likely this is going to put us behind in whichever area we pick, because we're probably going to want to concentrate on that area. I do still feel like we could do with a military one. Let's think about this. Very ahead in diplomatic, though. So if we wanted a diplomatic technology, it would be a good one. Okay, just thinking aloud about this. I've not been very keen on espionage myself, partly because it gives random events, which seem quite negative. Okay, that's fine. Trade ideas we're not going to need, because we're going to have masses of traders and money anyway, being a trading nation and colonial nation. Maritime generally doesn't tend to be worth it. I think our navy is going to be powerful enough anyway, so we're looking at diplomatic or influence for these. Colonial nations aren't exactly the same thing as vassals, so realistically, diplomatic wise, we want to go for diplomatic ideas. They're always a good pick. They help us get on with other nations well. So never a bad idea at all. There are a bunch of administrative ideas we could go for. If we're going for military, not keen on aristocratic, not keen on naval, and again we're probably going to be powerful enough as it is. Might still be early enough for defensive ideas to be worth it. Quantity could be useful purely because we're having to split our armies out, but we're honestly just not doing that much fighting. So, oh, here's our uprising. Here we go. So it does kind of make me wonder. I suppose the problem is we're currently ahead technologically because we started colonialism, but we're never going to have that advantage again. But we're still kind of behind militarily. I'm almost wondering if it might be worth, if it'll let us, given we just did an administrative idea, maybe trying to do another one. because there are certainly some good administrative ideas which we can make use of. Certainly worth considering. Okay, so no problem here. Their morale is going down heavily, and hopefully that'll be the last uprising for a bit. So I'll probably take this opportunity to reassemble redesign how our troops are laid out. So I think wanting to take this is our model, so we're going to go with 3 infantry, 1 cavalry and 2 guns. So that's 3 infantry and still 2 cavalry, unfortunately. Okay, so that's 1 of each. So let's go with that. We'll move the ships because these are the ones we're going to keep. Okay, so we don't want any more cavalry. We want 3 infantry. So I now just need a gun. There's the gun. There we go. So I think that'll give us exactly what we need over there. Got an option for another national decision. In fact, I think we have a few of these. Whoa! Hang on. When did that happen? It was a huge army. Still winning though, which is something. Okay, I'm bringing everyone over to help deal with that. So that was quite an uprising. Almost enough of an uprising to make me wonder if I want to keep the entire army here. Right, well that's messed everything up. In theory though, the army should still be split along the same lines. So I think that was one that we didn't have. So was that. Yeah, that was our original one. I think that will still do it. Right, national decisions. Institute the Societas Hirsu, which I think has no drawbacks. So let's go with that. Conventicle Act. So we're basically just heavily giving advantages to Catholicism, which seems in character. This one is the opposite. So I don't think we should do that. I don't think that's really in character for Portugal. Should be pushing Catholicism. Okay, so let's meld these together. I think that's given us what we wanted. 3, 1 and 2, that's perfect. If we meld all of these together, we'll take these back to the main army, as I believe the 6,000 should be enough. It may end up not being enough, simply because we may end up fighting some wars in Africa. This is very much our land, just as much as Portugal is. But for now, I still want to have the main army here, just in case. Okay, right. Still very ahead in both of these. Technically furthest ahead in diplomatic. I'm just wondering if we should push our advantage by going for one of the admin groups. So, several options. Religious ideas and humanist ideas are both good for bringing our country together. Innovative ideas is a funny one. There are some pluses to it, and it's something we would definitely want to take early rather than late. Administrative ideas, like the big ones, probably this. It'll actually save us admin power when we start coring provinces, which, to be fair, we'll do a bit of, just with Africa. And it will give us cheaper economic costs. Cheaper admin costs. Economic ideas is great when you're low on money, which at times I would have gone for with Portugal. However, we've been at our weakest point. We seem to be coming out of it, so it's possible we're actually going to end up having a lot of money anyway. So possibly you don't need to worry. Idea cost goes down. Co-creation cost. This should save us for admin tech later. Yeah, let's go administrative. It should come in with the coring we do. In effect, we'll spend admin points now in order to save them later. Cool. Right, decision made. Administrative ideas it is. Okay, we've got 3 diplomats doing nothing. We do still have a room for diplomatic relations that we're not making use of. Really could do with finding a way to make new alliances. See, the Ottomans have effectively destroyed Hungary. Which is a little disturbing, so I'm just randomly improving relations with everyone in the hope that at some point we'll have the option to make alliances. What's going on here? Genoa is attacking Naples, fair enough. Papal State's still okay. Very close to us and getting very big. Might be something that we need to worry about later on. But the bigger we become, the less it's going to be an issue. Okay. Plus 244. I'm actually wondering if we could afford to... Oh, we can't do it with any diplomats anyway. Afford to subsidise Caribus again. Well, tell you what, let's speed things up. I'll just be ready to slow them down if we have any events. Also want to check on our estates very soon. But if you remember, we wanted to get all 3 of these, and then we want to do a military conquest of these 2 provinces, which should, in theory, bring us a colonial nation and put us more or less on a par with Castile, which is what we need in this area, but we do need to hurry up. Yeah, that's fine. We've lost our advisor. She was a native one. I don't need spy network construction. Let's go for global tariffs. She was cheaper, so I don't want to go for a +2, even though she was a +2. Right, we can probably afford to convert provinces to Catholic again. Our easiest options. Costa do Marfim. I think that's African. Okay, the risk of an uprising. Actually, should we maybe do Cape Coast just because it's next door? Costs more, but then it looks like we can afford it, so let's go with that. I'm just thinking of it being next door to where the army currently is. If there are any uprisings, we can instantly go and deal with them. Whereas Costa de Marfim is a bit further away. Austria's become papal controller, fair enough. And at some point we want to colonise the Grain Coast, at which point we can send the missionaries there. Right, how are we doing with our estates? We can summon a diet, so I think we should do that. This is generally a good thing. Right, they want us to strengthen our ties with Genoa. New Portugal is at least 100. We can probably achieve that. yeah, we haven't done anything to improve relations, so sending a single diplomat over would deal with that. That's good. Nobility. Not worried about this, it's probably just an uprising that we'll have put down. Worried about manpower. Okay, well that should be increasing. 75%. That will sort itself out, so that's another one that we can do. Those are the burgers. Marketplace in Cape Coast. They want a larger market, so that's just building a trade. Now, to be honest, I'm quite tempted by that one, simply because we do want to develop down there. So this would give us skill-free army organizer that we probably can't afford. This would give us not a lot, to be honest. Proposal of the burgers gives us +1 production in Cape Coast. I think that is a good one. Oh, brilliant. More money. We need that. So, I had an uprising which put down. Right, so Cape Coast, we need to build a marketplace. Which is absolutely fine. Just double check the marketplace is enough. Marketplace, trade depot or stock exchange. Alright, marketplace our only option. But we need to pull our missionary out, apparently, in order to build them. How far has the missionary got? 20%. Right, I think we can afford to let them finish their mission. Okay, self-sustaining colony, brilliant. So let's get the third underway. And then we will need our full army here, and we want our full army to be as big as possible by that time. However, we do, in theory, have enough money to afford to tariffs on fish. This is Caribus again. I'm going to leave it be, so I only ever do the first one to subsidise them a little. So ideally we want their opinion of us to increase by about 1.5. Quite a lot of money, but I think we can afford it. More to the point, it should help them to colonise. You'll notice they've now finished colonising the whole island here, and I believe they've worked on this province here, so they are spreading out, which is good. That's what we want. I don't think they've spread out into the islands at all, but hopefully with all the land they've got and with the extra subsidising we've given them, it's not a huge amount for us, but it will be a huge amount for them. So that's good. They can keep going. Okay, we've got more mercenaries available. Not going to make any difference. We don't actually need them. And repay this loan. I'm not sure if I should have paid the one that expired later, still the one that expired first, actually, to be fair. Load of stuff with military companies, that's fine. No big issue. Not doing papal influence yet because I'm waiting until we can get the papal blessing. If the Pope dies in the meantime, I'm just going to accept that. How's England doing? Avalon. Okay. That is fine. Absolutely fine. I'm going to start improving relations with Castilian and Brazil. Just in case comes in useful. Decline of emerging classes. Nothing we can do about that. They've lost some influence. That's fine. They're going to gain some anyway, because we're doing their estate. I'm going to try and improve relations with Tunis, although not optimistic about it making any difference. We really need to keep an eye on them. but we're fine. Okay. That's giving you an item of money, not an issue. Okay, diplomats have finished, that's also fine. Okay. Another self-sustaining colony. We do need to call that. And it's probably not sensible to wait for the core creation cost to come down for this one. So the cost is 25. Let's just go with it. I don't actually know if we're not going to be forced to call the others, actually, simply because we're going to be using conquest. But I'm just going to accept that for now. Start the new colony there. So then we're on to our colony down here. So that conversion was successful, which is brilliant. So we now need to build that building that we agreed to build, which we now can't afford. Minor pain. Fair enough. Can we convert Costa d'Oro? We can, right, so that's a good one because the army's next door, which is fine. So we just need to acquire enough money to build a marketplace. Okay, Atlantic slave trade, I'm not going to like this. So we either encourage it or we don't get involved and gain prestige. 1574, that's 50 years of more global tariffs. I think it would be crazy not to do that. All things considered. Hoping we'll have abolished slavery by then, but we'll see. Change to tobacco. Mercantilism, we should always give them support. So we depend on our merchants. Right, we've got our first idea. Mercenary cost minus 10%. Not that useful. You never know, might come in useful later. However, that has also given us one of our actual Portuguese ideas, which has given us an extra merchant. So, worth it just for that. Right, brilliant. So, extra merchants, if you remember, we head over to the trade map. I suspect it's going to be the Ivory Coast for this one, seeing as we do have the Caribbean already. Let's go to trade. They've certainly got the Ivory Coast as a top option. So what's happening at the moment? It looks like everyone's getting involved, although we should end up with the most power. So some being sent to Sevilla, which is what we want. Some being sent to the Caribbean. Bordeaux, definitely don't want that. And the English Channel, definitely don't want that. Okay, so let's send the merchant to transfer trade power. I'm going to move to our economy screen where we're gaining 0.71 per turn, and we'll be waiting for a tick to appear here, which I'm hoping is going to coincide, well, you know, is going to cause an increase in our money. And it has. Unless that's a coincidence and it's actually going to go up next month. Consciousness still says 0.88. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted, so that was a coincidence, and we're now making a ton of money, which is what we want. Plague, we should do something. Spend ducats, we can afford it. Würzburg. Oh, this is, yeah. Morocco have embraced colonialism, fair enough. So yeah, we're now gaining a ton of money from the Ivory Coast. We appear to have overwhelmed all the other traders. I think this is probably because we have more trade power than anybody else. Although they've got surprising amounts, but that's probably because they've got merchants. So we're passing on as much trade power as we can. However, that's only going to go up as we make, and indeed making the marketplace will also make that go up. Should our money ever recover? So, what have we got? So to help with that, do we need legitimacy or prestige more? I would argue we probably need prestige more because our legitimacy is increasing anyway every year, whereas prestige is not. So let's do Bless Ruler for increased prestige. We still have 5 papal influence, so let's put that into becoming the next Pope. You never know, it's worth a try. Okay, brilliant. So hopefully this colony will finish soon. Finished a conversion, which is good. I suppose we should immediately get on with another one. So I'm going to do Costa do Marfim, even though it's a little risky. But it's still really the best option. Oh, actually, Tetuan, maybe? So they're perpetually next to an army, aren't they? So actually they might be a good choice, especially since we can afford them right now. Let's try and get them on board. So the idea with religious ideas is it makes this easier. Colonial expansion, harsh treatment has paid off. So in effect we can spend money in order to gain a bunch of settlers and advantages. We should definitely do that. Okay, got our first colony in South Africa. Let's get straight on with the next one. These guys are less aggressive actually, which is nice. I think it's as we move over here they get more aggressive. Oh, and here. But yeah, not to worry, we want as much of South Africa as possible because some of our ongoing missions are going to involve heading up here, which we could also do with exploring. I'm sort of waiting for one of the generals to die. Mildly ghoulish, but not to worry. Okay, so yes, we want a new cape. Might hold off on coring the province though, because it's quite expensive and we only need another 250 administrative power before we get the idea that makes it cheaper. So yeah, let's go with that. Let's hold off for now. Brilliant. Okay, that's what we wanted. Caribus still not moving as fast as I would like. Let's improve relations with them. Finished improving relations with Tunis. Okay. Got new technology. Colonial range has gone up. Build naval equipment manufactory. That's good. It's something we're going to need to look at. My big question is, can we now afford a marketplace? So we just recheck this. We need a marketplace in Cape Coast. New draperies? That sounds good. Oh, okay. Varied. Cape Coast. There we go. So 12 months. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So we should actually fulfill this one. This diet requirement. Where are we up to here? getting closer. Right, so we've got 2 diplomats. I'm going to... Actually, we might need to finish the colony before we can... make a claim. Never mind, I'm going to build spy networks anyway in both of these countries. And we do need to start bringing troops over. For which the increasing military technology will be a good thing. So I'm guessing this gives us a new cavalry. Cavalry does tend to become less important as the game goes on. Okay, so we can move 6 troops at a time. How about we try to build a couple more boats? Just to improve that. We've also got room for 1 more unit. But let's build a fleet first. Actually, we can't build a fleet. Fine, we need more money. Just speed up and get some. Uprising. Missed something. We've still got this alert. So obviously the Schwarzreiter was not the only change. Choice between Pedrero and Culverin. It's basically big cannons and small ones. I might go with the Pedrero. But no real thought behind that. Okay, flute. So that's the more up-to-date equivalent of the cog, which will allow us to take 7 people at once, so we'll be able to do this in still only in 3 trips actually, so not that exciting. I think I might build another cannon, so we don't really have enough guns. I think it's something like a military tech 12 where the cannons start to become important, so we've still got quite a way to go, to be fair. Papal approval of the Jesuit order, that is good. More papal influence. Get us closer to a papal blessing, which is what we want. We have been insulted. Very upsetting. Alright, well we are building spies there, to be fair, so can't entirely complain. So we're going to want to attack both of these simultaneously. There's the idea. Generation of cowards. Purge them and lose manpower, or we need them and we lose discipline. It would definitely lose manpower. We don't really need much manpower anyway. So yeah. Not to worry. Not to worry, we're fine. Okay, a few things at once. We've completed that estate agenda, so we're getting 1 production in Cape Coast, plus the marketplace, plus we've got more loyalty from the burghers. And we've finished a conversion, which is good. So, where should we convert next? I'm thinking maybe here, simply because it's next to an army. Ooh, more expensive though. Maybe because we haven't cored it yet, so possibly not a good choice. How close are we to doing this one? Very close, right, let's do this then. Costa de Marfim. Because we'll be moving the army over to here, I think, next. Let's make sure we've got all the coastal regions. Okay, brilliant. Time to bring in the army. So we did have room for 1 more troop of some kind, so I'm just going to build a cannon. However, so hopefully we're going to be in a position to declare war on both of these. By the time our army's ready, Question is, do we want to be colonising something else in the meantime? Or should we just hold off for a bit? You know what? Let's start another colony. In the meantime, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we do need to compete with Castile. Okay, I'm going to send you back. Pick up some more troops. Hopefully Tunis isn't going to attack us while we're doing this. Oh, brilliant. Okay, let's slow down. Right, I want to fabricate a claim here, which we're able to do despite not having called the province, which is good. I wasn't sure we would be. Not quite able to fabricate a claim yet there, but give us time. Okay, you can move over to the Grain Coast. We'll start a colony there. I don't want making a state because that doesn't cost anything, but I'm not coring it. In fact, I'm not coring anything yet because we're about to get cheaper coring. So let's just leave that a little longer. Right, I'm going to try and improve relations with Morocco, simply because I don't want to be attacked at home. Let's bring the cannon over. As well have a full army. Transport. Okay. You head there. Got an expiring diplomatic... Oh no, uncontested claim. Fair enough. That's fine. Right, we've just got our new idea, adaptability. Core creation costs have gone down, which means everywhere that isn't in the Americas, we now want to core, if we can. So we can core this province at least. So let's start that going, because it will take time. Okay, how are you doing? A little damaged, but still probably able to cope and go get our final army. So I'm now hoping both our generals will survive. Show people our resilience, sounds good. We've gained some stability, thank goodness, because we did need that. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, I see, we've lost the thing where we failed last time. That's good. I thought we were saying we failed something this time. I was like, no we didn't. We absolutely succeeded. We made a marketplace. Right, I should be able to make a claim on Belém. Good. I'm going to stop building the spy network. All is almost in place. It's fine. Finished a conversion earlier than I expected. Increased our papal influence by 1, which is good. Right. Bring our leaders over. Might be able to core this province now. coring. Still don't want to core these 3 if we can avoid it. I think we'll have to core the ones that we actually conquer. I'm just going to hope that neither of these people have made an alliance with Castile. Okay, so if we were to declare war, oh, they have no allies. Okay, that's surprising. So we put our ships out there. Just pause. Declare war, no allies. You do need to be careful here when declaring war. We don't want to declare war because of a diplomatic insult, or we won't be able to take any land, I don't think. So we want conquest, take Belem. I'd forgotten they'd insulted us diplomatically. Actually quite surprised. So they're actually allies with these people. We're not going to be able to fabricate a claim though, are we? Oh, maybe. Maybe. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's slightly different to usual. I'm used to these two being allies of each other. So on this occasion, Belem hasn't managed to get any allies at all. Moroccan community, brilliant. The Moroccans are less inclined to rebel, which is fantastic. We must try and develop the Moroccan lands a little. Perhaps when we've got an institution on the way. Okay, so we've got a siege going. Or ignore them and lose prestige. I'm going to accept demands. That's okay, don't really care about diplomatic insults. Okay, we've won the siege. We have a war score of 100. Which I think means we should be able to take their land. Excellent. Now I do think we're going to need to core this land. So let's do it. Okay, so if I split you up, you can go there. I need you to have a conquistador. Go there. I'm just wondering if we could even try to make a grab for this land as well. Not what I was intending at all. But actually better. Better than what I was intending. Right, we have stability costs will be great because I think it would allow us to raise this for less. But yearly prestige is vital. And also we kind of need our admin power right now for coring new provinces. Okay, we can repay a loan, which is great. The Reformation has started. We're not invited. It's upsetting. Okay, had an uprising. Can we get these troops down there? A little risky. Also means we don't have anyone in case of uprising. Although I suppose we could move that army there temporarily. Can always move them back for the attack. Yeah. So I think we could actually attack these anyway if you join in this war. And take the land, but I think it'll cost us less to core if we have a claim fabricated on it. So it's still worth fabricating the claim. It might even allow us to hem Castile in a little. Not that I'm that concerned. Our main concern is just getting Brazil. I've course, uprising. It's me not thinking. Also got a new national decision. Embrace the Counter-Reformation? Yes, we should. Even though it's going to cost us more for technology, it should allow us to really make some progress on converting various lands. So let's do it. Because we'll temporarily have an advantage with conversions. So we can probably get all of our conquered lands up here, some of which are quite hard to convert, and we can get them all converted, which will definitely help us in the future. So, well worth doing. Okay, let's see if we can just finish this off. Finish off our little conquest. There won't be a castle here anymore since it's not a nation, I don't think, so we should be able to just take it in fairly short order. Is that our progress in taking it back? Lost a diplomatic insult. I really don't care. Right, so let's head back over. You are more or less in position. Nearly able to fabricate a claim. We're getting there. Now then, do we want part of our navy over here to crush that navy? I do think we possibly do. Yeah, we've got 4 early carracks, haven't we? It looks like they've only got cogs in any case. I feel like we've given the bulk of our troops to this group, but not to worry. Right, we can fabricate a claim. Stop building the spy network. Get our ships into position. There we go. Pause. Declare war. They will join in. If we wanted, we could bring Castile in. We really don't want to, so I'm not going to. Twice as expensive to take their provinces. Alright, so we could actually let them call their own allies. Interesting. Their only ally is Portugal. I think we should try that. It's not something I've ever really looked into before, but it looks like we might be able to take their provinces more easily. So we move our army in. Move our army in there as well. Let's get going. So hopefully this could work out really well. We can take both of these provinces, core them, and I think that will form the nation of Brazil. Which will be a nice place to finish. So we've got this option because we could call Castile in, but we just don't need to. These nations are so small. It's a very one-sided battle. So we're just going to siege the castles. We've got our navy waiting offshore for when their navy is forced to set sail. I mean, even this one, where we've only got 1 heavy ship, they've just got 1 light ship. It's like a trade ship, it's nothing. So we should be fine. And that should give us, hopefully, a 7-province Brazil. So we need to get to 10 to fulfill the mission. But in some ways more important, we need to try and keep ahead of Castile. On the other hand, Castile looks like they've started down here as well. Well, this might still be Brazil. Oh, darn. Well, that's unfortunate, but there's not a huge amount. Actually, to be fair, we could probably split off half our army and go and sort them out. It's not a big deal. No, sorry, so this is Castilian Brazil, so it looks like this isn't going to be, despite it having Rio de Janeiro. Okay, we've won this one. I don't think they were the people we were mainly up against, so we can annex them. Nope, they've rejected it, fair enough. Maybe they'll change their minds now we've destroyed their navy. Right, so Castile, it looks like, is making another nation down here, so we'll have to watch that. Okay, definitely need to slow down. Keep with trying to get ones around this trade node. So we'll take this coastal region, but we do want to take the coastal regions first, because people can't colonize these unless they have another region next to it. So if we can get all the coastal regions, we've effectively got the whole southern part of Africa to ourselves. So we're generally going to prefer the coast. Yes, this colony was unfortunately damaged. Okay, let's see if we can get these. We want to sue these for peace first, because it won't end the war. And then we sue these for peace. Brilliant. Actually, you head back there to defend the colony. So I might keep the army down here for a bit, just to prevent uprisings. We want to core both of these provinces at the very least. We also want to core the African one that we just took. Don't think we necessarily need to core any others. We want to bring our navy back together, and we're probably going to want to go and sort out that pirate. So we've got a pirate here. They're currently blockading us and interfering with our trade, so we should send someone down to deal with those. Let's let the navy recover first. Yeah, that's a bit worrying. The problem is Castile, I think, can actually have 4 colonists at once, so they are going to be able to overtake us. Plus I think they're concentrating on South America, whereas of course we only have 1 colonist here because we're more focused on Africa, which is in line with our mission tree. I see England is working on Canada, which makes sense, because I'm still half tempted to get a presence in Florida. But we'll see. I see they're gradually moving along Cuba and taking bits of it, so that's good. Right, where else can we do? Go for this province next. Don't have an army to deal with them, but our forts have been mothballed, haven't they, because we were technically at war. However, we can kind of afford to keep them running now, so I'm not particularly inclined to worry about it. So yeah, brilliant. Might have some uprisings, but in general I think we should be well on our way. Actually, if I just speed things up, can we just finish by forming the Brazilian nation? Shifty characters, we don't need them because we're not going to be doing any spy construction, so let's take the extra prestige. We've done another conversion, which is brilliant. Yeah, let's just keep the conversions going. Caribus, not taxing them. That's fine. I just think it should just be a question of coring these provinces now, and that should give us our second colonial nation. Finish coring Belém. I suppose it's whether we finish coring the provinces before or after we finish this colony. Either way, a good situation. Speaking of, let's pull this navy together again, and I'm going to send them down there to try and deal with the pirates. So we've got a warning for it as a blockade. Got some uprisings coming. Oh, looks like Castile is attacked. Oh well, not to worry. Started to finish. The uprisings have bizarrely disappeared. Grain Coast has become self-sustaining, so you see the colonies do speed up a bit. Once we've got all of our ideas in place, once we've got 3 running at once, you just tend to find that everything starts to move a bit faster. What's an advisor? We can instantly get another one. Right, I think, given we have more money... Oh. Okay. I was just going to say, given we have more money, I might go for the more useful trade efficiency, which is a +2. Discipline is useful anyway. Discipline is always good, so we'll go with that. A new idea. Mercenary maintenance, not much use, but let's go for it. Grant export licenses. Okay, we really need to slow down. Right, this is going to make Castilian Brazil like us more, but we're going to lose legitimacy. And we'll gain more taxes. Well, I'd rather they liked us more, so let's go with that. And there we go, Portuguese Brazil, which, to be honest, you'd normally just call Brazil, but fair enough. I'll stick with that name. We've fulfilled a mission, which I think is... To be honest, I'm not sure. Oh, acquire subjects, right, so the colonial nations do count as subjects for this mission. So that's good, that is good. So it looks like to do the Cape of Good Hope we're going to need a navy that's 100% of the force limit, so we need to work on our navy next time. Just making states. We can now court everything, because we don't have any more colonial nations in progress right now. As you see, the Counter-Reformation is just allowing us to just polish all of these off nice and quick. Disloyal estates, right, that will recover on its own. We only have 1 loan left, so hopefully we're making progress. So, yeah, that's pretty good. We've made our new nation of Portuguese Brazil, which includes this nation down, this province down here. Probably still going to focus on the coastal areas. But, so our next plan is going to be to get these to 10. We're going to want to recover our army. So we need to find our ships, which are probably down here now. Nicely recovered. So let's send them back up. Use 10 prestige or Lose 10 prestige but gain administrative power, or we can lose our philosopher. He actually increases our prestige, which is his main function. No, I don't want to lose the prestige. Also, you know, I am being a relatively absolutist ruler. Okay, so our new options include production efficiency, which is good for money, so let's go with that one. We are well overdue for a papal blessing, although I suppose we could even hold on and go for the stability one. Might do that. Might get stability, even though it costs twice as much, as we are gaining quite a bit of papal influence due to our... Oh, nice! So this is a colony that's just been started by Portuguese Brazil themselves, so they're obviously making some progress anyway. Well, I'm at it, let's just improve relations with them, and with Caribus, and with Castile themselves, even though we're already very good terms with them. But yeah, brilliant, so they're already colonising, so we should hopefully be up to 10, which will fulfil a mission and will give us another trader, which will give us more money. So it's going to be a question of working on the navy, I think, next time. I might also start eyeing up Panama, simply because they give us better access to the lands beyond. We shall see. I'll see. Good see Caribus is still making progress. Might start subsidising Portuguese Brazil as well to help them with their own colonising. But yeah, all looks good. We've managed to get 3 provinces through conquest, not 2, which has increased Portuguese Brazil considerably. So it's whether we want to go to Panama next to, once we've got Portuguese Brazil to 10, or whether we want to head down here and try and directly compete with Castile. We shall see, but I'm probably going to leave 2 of our colonists in Africa still for the time being, because I want to get as much of Africa as possible. It's more in line with the Portuguese missions overall. These ones, shipyards of these, control the shipping lanes. In fact, most of these I think are all to do with Africa and heading east. There's only really Brazilian dominance, which I think we're going to fulfill anyway. At the same time, I do like colonial nations, and I would like to have a good presence in America. So, we'll see. But that will all be for next time. This looks like it's going well. We've nearly paid our loans off. We can start making some serious money. Okay, not doing so well at the moment, but give it time. We're still not losing money, which is the main thing. And we're only going to get richer. So, brilliant. I shall leave it there. Thank you for watching. See you next time.